First-time home buyers, today we're going to be talking about the X factor that you should be looking at when you're hiring both a real estate agent and a mortgage lender. So before we start, if you're new to the channel, if you're not, come on, we can say it together. I'm a lender licensed in 48 states. Yes, my team's one of the top purchase teams in America. We love helping you get on the calendar. There's a link in the description. It's free. You can ask all your questions about buying a house. My team's there to answer them and help you guys get on the path. Okay, shameless sales pitch over. X factor. Okay, so for a lender, you're usually thinking, rates and fees, experience. That's right, you need to know about experience. Good reviews, absolutely, bare minimum. Okay, we're gonna say that's the minimum now. You need a lender that has competitive rates and fees, has experience, and has good reviews. There's no reason you should be working with a lender that does not have these three things. Zero reason. Okay. Real estate agent, experience, good reviews, minimum. We'll see what happens with the buyer's agreement and what people charge, but for now, as I film this, minimum. Okay, what is the X factor? I was thinking about this a lot the other day. I was. And I think that if I'm thinking about how, like, customer satisfaction, you know, in my career, where have I seen it gone wrong? And it's because I didn't have the X factor for the specific client. So let's talk about what that is, how it affects your transaction, but three things you should be looking for. And this is gonna be quick at the beginning. So first of all, what is the X factor? It's the magic sauce that makes it so that you end up buying a house feeling happy, feeling supported, and feeling like it was a great decision. And both the real estate agent and the mortgage lender need the X factor in order for you to have that. Otherwise, you'll have, like, maybe you trusted the lender, but you really dislike the realtor, you know? Perfect scenario, you've got both. But in reality, if you get at least one, thank goodness, okay? Because if the person has the X factor, it will be able to offset the negativity of the other. Okay. Now, it's really the difference between having that transaction where you're happy, you're satisfied, you feel confident, you feel empowered, you feel comfortable, you feel like you're making a good decision, or having the experience where you end up on Reddit saying that you were scammed and you hate everybody and that they were just out for money. And that's something you should be concerned about in the real estate industry. Let's be real. Most lenders get paid commission. Most real estate agents get paid commission, okay? So you want to make sure you're asking these questions. Now, let's start with the easiest one, okay? And sometimes it can be good to write this down, and I want you to think about it because seriously, truly, I've looked into this so much, and I can tell you that doing this will help you have a better transaction. So number one, how do you like to communicate? Do you like to text, email, phone, in person? Let's start with the mortgage lender, okay? Text, email, phone, in person. How do you like to communicate? Now, most people are gonna be a combination of text, phone, and email. But sometimes we'll have people where they hate text. I'm totally okay with that. If you hate text, I'm okay with that. You know, I need phone and email. And you want to ask your lender, like, how do you communicate? And you want to make sure it matches your communication. So, like, for example, if you said, well, I want to meet in person, I'm not the right lender. Nothing else matters. I'm not the right lender. You want to make sure that the lender you're working with communicates in the way that you're comfortable. So for instance, if someone wants to meet with me in person, it's usually because they feel like if they can look you in the eyes, they can read you. And that's great, right? Wonderful. But I haven't met people in 14 years because of a prior safety issue early in my career. So I'm never gonna do it, right? So if someone wants to meet in person, I'm a bad lender. You gotta find someone else, right? You know, if you want to not text, but the lender only texts, like, that's not the right lender for you. So communication is gonna be important, really important with the agent as well. If you hate text, because, like, I'll see this, I'll have clients where they hate text, but they have a real estate agent that lives on text, and the client gets so annoyed by it, you know, and the real estate agent's doing what they think is the best in their job, and they're not doing a bad job, But the problem is the communication styles don't mesh. So the client's getting frustrated because they don't like text. They don't like responding to text. The real estate agent's getting frustrated because they're like, I'm providing this great service. I'm not getting good feedback. And it's just because of the simplicity of their communication styles don't match. So really important that you talk to your real estate agent about that as well. If you love to text and they'll only use a flip phone, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, so don't torture yourself. They could be the best agent in the world, but you will get frustrated. And that's what I see is I'll see people frustrated, and it starts to put a whole cloud around the transaction, because if they get frustrated, they start to lose trust. So match up those communication styles. The next one is delivery. Yep, delivery. So I'm like dehydrated, so bear with me, guys. It's a constant thing. Apologies. Okay. Style of communication. Do you like someone that's direct? Do you like someone that's blunt? Do you like someone that sugarcoats? Do you want someone that just takes an order and does not question you? Do you want someone that presents options? What style of communication beyond how you receive it do you like? Right? And that's really important too, because if, for instance, you like directness and you have someone that could not be direct if their life depended on it, and you'll see that sometimes, let's say that you qualify for 500 and there's no houses in your area at 500. There's some real estate agents, they'll be like, well, we'll just have to keep on looking, whereas there'll be another agent that says, hey, look, there's nothing in that price market. Here's how the market has gone over the last few years. Here's areas where you're going to be successful at that price range, right? Some people are going to want the agent that goes, well, not yet. Yeah, no, we don't have it. Whereas other people just want the facts. Okay, what's the deal? Is this realistic? Is it not realistic? When they're writing an offer, for instance, there's some people where they want to tell the real estate agent, offer XYZ, do this, do that, do this. And they do not want the real estate agent providing anything to contradict that. Now, if you're working, like if you took the time to find a really good agent with good reviews and lots of sales, I think you should want their opinion. But there's some people where you do not want, you want to give orders. And if you want to give orders, that's great. I would say find a real estate agent that's an order taker. Same thing with the mortgages. Once in a while I'll hit someone and they'll have like perfect credit, first time home buyer, single family home, and they'll be like, I want to do FHA. And I'm like, why? That doesn't make any sense. We should be doing conventional. I want FHA. But this is going to cost you more, and I want FHA. I'm the worst lender for that, right? If you watch my videos, I am not a good lender for that, because I'm going to be like, but your money, your wallet, right? But there's other lenders that would go, okay, FHA it is. It doesn't mean they're bad or good. They just have a different vision of what they think their role is. I feel like my role as a lender is to help you in any way I can, to push back if you're doing something that's going to cost you money, to open your eyes to if there's potential problems. But some people don't like that, and that's okay. You want to find the lender that's going to have the communication style that you're comfortable with. So if you want an order taker, you want to get an order taker. If you want someone who's going to sugarcoat and kind of dance around and be very gentle, you want to make sure you're working with that person. If you want someone who's going to be very direct, you want that person, right? So think about how you like to be communicated with, because everybody's a little bit different, And for instance, one of my pet peeves, if I was working with a real estate agent and they sent me essays, I would lose my mind. Like if I was getting emailed essays, I would lose my mind. I couldn't handle it. It would never work. For me, I'm very to the point. So I'd be like, okay, like text me, what's the deal? Or call me, like I love the phone, So if there was a real estate agent where they like to communicate with long paragraphs and emails, I'm out. Okay. And so you want to think about, what is your communication style, the tone, and do these people match it? Okay. Now, here's the third factor, which is It's a feeling. I know, but like, we've got to stop ignoring that feelings are real, because I will tell you right now, if someone has a feeling from the beginning, it doesn't generally change. And the feeling I'm talking about is trust. Okay. A lot of times I get a call and something's going sideways and it's just bad, because you guys know you can always call me and I'll be like, yeah, I can fix it, or oh, you're hosed, or have your lender do this. A lot of times what I hear is, I just didn't trust them. I just knew. I knew they were going to be a problem, but my real estate agent said they were great, or my dad said they were great, but I just knew. Stop ignoring that feeling. Okay? Stop ignoring that feeling. If you feel like you can't trust someone, if you get that, that like, ugh, that doubt, don't work with them, right? And look, sometimes I have people that they're never going to trust me. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what my reviews are. None of it matters. For some reason, they just don't trust me. And in cases like that, I'm always like, hey, like, you should chat with another lender, because it doesn't matter, if the real estate agent, if the lender, if they do everything perfectly, if your gut is telling you that something's not right, you're going to feel that way the whole way through. And it's going to lead stress into the transaction and the entire home buying process, right? Because if your real estate agent communicates the way you want, their tone's great, everything's perfect there, but you just have a feeling, right? I would say find another one. There's so many real estate agents, there's so many lenders, and if you're going into the transaction not trusting the professionals that you've selected, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Now look, I'm not saying to blindly trust anyone. I'm just saying we all have that feeling where we're like, yeah, I'm comfortable, this makes sense, or, and if it's just get another professional, okay? The other thing that I wanted to bring up, and of course it just escaped me, but one fun test, if you're like, with the, I don't trust them, there is a way. And look, sometimes you're just not going to trust someone no matter what. An easy one to do is find a house online that is falling down disaster. Falling down disaster, guys. Like, I want peeling paint. I want, drainage issues. I want it to look like it should be lit on fire. Find a house like that. And I want you to give it, whether it's the real estate agent or the lender, to the real estate agent, be like, hey, like, I really want to go look at this house. It looks great. Okay. A real estate agent, a good one's going to go, wait, what? Did you want a fixer? Like, this has a lot of issues. Like, we can go look at it, but like, seriously, like, do you want a fixer? Right? That's the correct answer to a property like that, is to make sure that you, the buyer, are aware that this has problems, it's going to require additional repairs, and it's problematic, right? And you would need a different type of loan. If you send it to the lender and they're like, okay, do you need a letter for that? Okay, either they don't know what's going on or they just don't care, right? When people send me properties that are like in really bad condition, I'm usually on the phone within 5 minutes and I'm like, please no. Please no. And I'm like, look, I might be able to get this through as a lender, but like, look at this picture, look at this picture, look at this picture. You can do little trust exercises if you're unsure, but sometimes it doesn't even matter. Like, look, you could have, let's say I'm the lender where you're like, and then we go through that and you're still like, I'm never going to win you, right? That lender's never going to win you. The real estate agent, if they responded and they said, hey, like, this has issues, we can look at it, but of course it has issues, I want to make sure you know, and you're still like, it doesn't matter. You're never going to trust them. So just find another professional, okay? Just do it. You will be so much happier. Like, I can't say that enough. So look, that's the X factor. The key with any of this is that when you're buying a house, in a perfect world, it's seamless, right? In a perfect world, you get fully underwritten and pre-approved. You find a house, the seller accepts your offer, the inspections come back clean, and your loan closes earlier on time and you get the keys. Woo! But guys, it's not always like that. Sometimes you're gonna have to write multiple offers. Sometimes you're gonna have a seller that's difficult, or you're going to have issues on the inspection. And, if there's issues on the inspection, you have to trust that your real estate agent's going to give you good advice. On the loan front, you have to trust that the lender has your best interest at heart and that they've structured your loan correctly. If you don't think they've structured your loan correctly, you should go to another lender, right? And that's the thing. What I see is that when people trust the team they're working with, they end up in a great position. If they don't, it doesn't matter how good of a position you could get them into. They're never going to be happy with you. So you guys need to be true to yourselves, but having that X factor can make the whole process so much more enjoyable for you and give you the experience that you need to go, yes, buying a house was great, instead of saying, I hate these people. So I hope this video was helpful. Weigh in. What do you think? Did you even get this far? It was long. I know it was long, but feel free to weigh in. Thanks for watching.